Ashton Kutcher made himself right out of existence.
Ooh, okay. Well, we should see a stream come up pretty soon.
Chairs. Bigger chair.
What?
What? I said we gotta have back-to-back desks for the computer. Yours look all technical and whatnot. Mine will just have parts. Why'd we go dark?
What are you talking about?
The image. Oh.
Because I got out of the center focus there. I'm doing this.
I don't like me much. Oh, wait. I got more light. Hey! I'm keeping the light.
Whoa, no.
Oh, wait. No, I'm not. More light, less light. More light, no light. Oh. The darkness. And the bare feet.
Woohoo! Alright.
I have
So
tricks.
let's go to the,
I'm a little monkey.
oh gosh, look at you. Look at you go.
What? Look at me go where?
Look at you go.
Am I going? Where am I going? Tell me where I'm going. Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, you were recording?
Yeah, that's what's going.
Where am I going?
You're doing your thing there.
Oh, great. I'm making a complete ass of myself. Awesome.
No, you keep it up. No, it's good stuff.
I don't. It's degrading?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you should be sorry. Anyway.
No, not really. I'm not sorry.
I just gotta put the links up now.
Oh, well, link us. Give me directions, sir. I need structure. This fool. We went quiet. You gotta talk. Why do I have to talk? You're the leader of this ship.
Well, you know, I'm doing the best I can.
Uh huh.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
Alright.
Not sorry.
Well, at least now I know that I'm doing alright.
Yeah. So, on our last show, you had 8 minutes of us introing.
Yeah, 8 minutes of us doing pretty much nothing since it doesn't even matter anymore.
Since we're doing like right now, episode 2, right? Like, well, this is a work in progress. So
It's more than just a work in progress.
there's a lot of bugs, wrenches, kinks, just issues.
Kinks? Hey, it's not that kind of show. This is a family program, sir.
Why am I on it? My family.
Oh yeah.
My family matters.
Look at that thing.
My family matters aren't that great. What is it? Is it?
Someone just reading it.
Is it?
Anyways, so yeah. Woo, boom. So yeah,
working.
if you've tuned in, welcome to Driven Tech. I don't Driven Tech Talks, Driven Tech Streams.
I don't know.
I don't know. We need like a cool acronym, I guess, that fits. I don't want to do DTM because then I'm just showing my BMW fanboyness.
Beamer boy.
But I don't know. Like maybe there's like a computer acronym, like DT something. DTS, Dolby True Surround? No, that's trademarked. I don't want to do that.
Sorry, don't sue us.
Don't hurt us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got content ID'd once in the past few days. I don't want to do it again.
Shame on you. Warner Brothers don't like you. Oops.
Well,
Can you say Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's their
I thought
prerogative,
you
I
said.
guess.
Yeah. Well, soon they're going to be AT&T Brothers.
Well,
However.
they
Yeah.
can
How's that going to work?
they can do what they want, I guess.
Uh,
But anyways, so
Yay!
I'm opening up my Twitch on the other screen here just so that I can see what you lovelies are saying. And that's about the size of
what are they
that.
saying?
Whee! Yeah. There's that.
I just like being on
I
camera.
don't care about the video. Live dashboard. Ah, there we go.
Driven Tech.
Great. So now I can see the chat. And there we have it.
Hey, if you come up with an acronym, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Why do
it
we
would
need
be.
an acronym? What's wrong with just driven tech? Are you driven?
Technically.
Ah!
So anyways, on our last episode, we did like an hour-long stream last week.
Fell short.
And for whatever reason, I only streamed to YouTube. And
They're like, you got 8 minutes.
yeah, YouTube decided to record 8 minutes and like 53 seconds of the entire hour-long stream. So I don't even know what to say about that,
We
really.
thought was amazing. We're like, hey,
Oh yeah, I was.
how's it going? And then we go to load it, and it's like 8 minutes. Where's the rest of it?
Yeah,
What happened?
I was
It's like,
over the moon about that crap, and
It's
then I'm
like-
like, well,
it's
whatever.
like lost forever.
Yeah, it was
in
lost forever.
The netherworld.
In the ether, yeah.
Ether of. Hey, you know half the internet lives in Georgia, right? There's big. Actually, there's 2 of them. I think.
I guess, yeah.
QTS server stations
like
where
that.
I stood in the middle of the internet. It was awesome. I was like, so this is the internet, and our IT guy Sam looks at me. He's like, yeah, technically, yeah, you could say that. This is the internet.
Maybe that stuff actually. I might as well go ahead and plug this. So we're currently in the middle of making a video with his old machine because
It needs work.
it needed a little bit of help. So anyways, we got a Cooler Master HEF XM over there. We got an AM3 motherboard. I think it's like a gigabyte, ultra durable, something or other.
Yes.
990 chipset, and I think
quad-core
is the quad core?
Phenom quad core FX.
Yeah,
FX
so yeah,
Phenom?
4-core, 4-thread
Yeah, it's,
processor, and
it's
he
small.
was working with one of these guys. Old school.
Oh, yeah.
And
Should I be embarrassed?
now, I just want to make sure that everybody knows. Here, take that and
Okay.
do something awful with it.
Got any gasoline?
No, not well.
Aw.
Yeah, I do in the garage. But,
Oh,
anyways,
have a barbecue later.
so and this is not in any way sponsored by Asus or AMD or anything like that.
Just a
But
preference.
I'm donating one of these fellas here. Yeah. Woo! To his build. And so far we've got some pretty decent numbers, but I want to get some go into his BIOS and check everything there and all that kind of good stuff because I think probably his processor might be able to be overclocked a little bit. It's got a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo in there, so it's got a little bit of headroom thermal wise. But
a little kick in the pants.
it needs a big kick in the pants. But anyways, so yeah, donating that, and then we're gonna see what kind of performance gains we can get. This is kind of like an ultra budget upgrade. So for people that don't really have the money to spend on like an entire new system, say like, hey, I'm on eBay and I found this really great price for a graphics card. In this case, it's got 4 times the amount of RAM, so your 4 gigabytes, bit of a
Right.
higher core clock, a lot more shaders. I think that one has like 2048 shaders versus I don't even know about that one because it's just awful.
It's like it needs to get out.
But doing like a 1080p and 1440p type of setup, just your typical everyday gamer. We're not going to be running 4K with any of this stuff because it's there's no way that 380 could ever hope to handle that below or like above maybe 20-30 frames a second.
Right. Be like,
But yeah, so that's what we're doing with that. And then oh, look at that.
budget piece by piece.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
What is?
I look down. I'm like, oh, my wife's watching.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, aren't we special?
Yeah. Oh yeah. On a side note, happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all you
Yeah.
lovelies.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Sunday.
so to our one watcher at the moment, we are talking. Impatient.
So we'll just like, with this, we'll just piecemeal it piece by piece. We'll keep testing old part versus new part, and eventually get it running decently.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason that for a 1080 gaming rig, that motherboard shouldn't be able to support the kind of hardware that you need for
Right.
that.
We're gonna throw everything at it except a motherboard.
And possibly even a processor. Because even quad core is still fine for most games. But once you start getting up into the
I could benefit from an 8 core.
well, once you start maxing out the graphics card there, you start getting a little more CPU bound. So
Right.
it's-
Well, to start out, I'd probably want to go get one just so I have that to begin with. You always want You want the highest end CPU to support everything else, correct?
well, not necessarily. I mean, We're not going to run out tomorrow and buy like a 9350. You know. No, it's not.
Money falls out of the sky.
I get like the earlier 8-core. What's the cheapest?
The bulldozer architecture, so like the 8320 is going to be your cheapest, but
Okay.
you're still going to run into some issues. That 8350 would be the way to go.
Okay.
But either way, it's
down the road.
That's
Just throw that out there. Like, wait, why?
But anyways, so we went over a few things last week, especially like Computex coverage. Clearly, I didn't go there because I have nowhere near the amount of
Clout? Money?
Yeah, anything to go to Taiwan.
You're like,
for any amount of time.
passport.
But yeah, you know, I followed as much as I could. Watched the NVIDIA meeting. I watched the AMD meeting where they announced, you know, some of the threadripper, and they touched Vega a little bit, but I don't remember seeing any like clear cut. Like, here's specs, here's prices, here's what you can expect. But I do know that they are AMD is going hot and heavy to just nail NVIDIA and Intel to the wall. And so far, I think they're doing a pretty darn good job with Intel. No offense, Intel, I have one of your flagship processors, but I also have a Ryzen 5 1600X in my streaming computer here, and it's pretty darn stout comparatively. And for the price, I mean, it was a good, you know, 30% less cost-wise. Darn near I got a free motherboard with it, so, you know.
We're all about bang for the buck anyway.
Yeah, bang for the buck is definitely the way to go. But, you know, 4-core 8-thread for, you know, $329 to $379, I think it is, MSRP. Of course, Micro Center had a really good deal. Not sponsored by Micro Center, but if you want to.
I love that place.
Anyways, what was that name? Anyways, yeah, 4-core 8-thread.
Yeah,
you know,
threadrippers.
4 gigahertz. I can get it to 5 gigahertz being liquid cooled, but I'm going to delid that soon. Upcoming video, by the way. And you know, see what I can get thermal wise on that. But then I've got this guy over here, which is a 6-core 12-thread, and it runs circles around it. Even though I can really only get it up to 4 gigahertz, I've got 2 more physical cores, and that makes all the difference. And price wise, it just makes sense. You know, and that one's running on a Z270 board. This is a B350M from Asus. Again, not sponsored by Asus, but if you're watching,
send us shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Send me stuff to review. Dang it. And then you know, the same amount of RAM, 16 gigabytes of RAM in each system, but they're both running 3200 megahertz, and just this one just eats it alive. Synthetic benchmarks, gaming, and that one's got a 1080. GTX 1080 graphics card, and this one has a GTX 1070 Founders Edition.
Which one are you talking about? Which the other tower you're talking about?
My NZXT.
Oh, your big tower.
And you can actually see both of my builds on the first video on the channel.
That thing is awesome.
And guys, before you say anything, I know black and red builds are a little overdone, but got a great deal in the case, and it looks really nice. So
I got red in mine, and then I put a big green bar at the top.
Don't eat too much. But
well, black and red. Come on.
Yeah,
Go
seriously.
Bulldogs.
So anyways,
If you like football.
if you like football, who likes football? Nobody
also
watches
Falcons
football.
colors. Go Dirty Birds.
But anyways, so yeah, if you do happen to tune in and you have a question or a comment, anything like that, please feel free to leave it in the chat section here. Otherwise, give us a like, maybe subscribe. I am going up. I'm really driving from a 25 subscribers, and actually, once I hit 100, and it's you guys that make this happen. Once I hit 100, I'm gonna go ahead and do a giveaway of a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo with AM4 bracket. Yeah, so that'll work for pretty much all LG 1150, 1151. I think it also works for 2033. And it will then also work for AM4 for all you Ryzen fans out there.
Everybody loves free stuff.
Yeah. So again, just to kind of touch briefly on what we talked about last week, X299 chipset with the new Intel Skylake X, Kaby Lake X, and Core i9. To me, seems a bit reactionary. I think
they're trying to play
AMD
game.
definitely surprised Intel a little bit, not only with the pace that they're releasing stuff, but also the specs that they're releasing stuff at as well. So it really does seem like, anyways, that they're kind of feeling the burn, as it were,
right
from AMD.
So like, hey, let's bring something that's more price comparative.
But it's not price comparative. It's like twice as much.
Really?
Yeah. Threadrippers, I think, starts at like the 10-core 20 thread for $850, I think it was.
Is it more expensive than their biggest chip?
What do you
Or is
mean?
it like the most expensive chip they
What,
got?
Threadripper?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Their new. Is it a 9-core?
No. Oh, no.
I'm trying to understand.
It's definitely more expensive than Ryzen because Ryzen's not a workstation processor.
Right.
Threadripper is pretty much a workstation. 10-core, 20-thread, up to, I think it's like 18-core, 16-core, 32-thread, or 18-core, 36-thread. Something. I think it's 1632.
Holy
But either way,
smokes.
they're like half the price of Intel.
Oh,
The comparative chip for the 10-core, 20-thread with Intel is like $850 versus the thing like close to $2,000. So there's absolutely no reason price to performance for you to even consider Intel at that point.
Wow.
So there's a couple other YouTubers as well that touched on that. Linus, Jay's 2 Cents, Bitwit, Paul's Heart. They've all all the big tech tubers. I think maybe even Science Studios or Science Explained. I'm probably butchering that channel name. But they've all kind of just about all touched on how this really does seem like Intel's going, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then they're really rushing things out.
Right.
I personally don't see that as being the best way to go about it. I think definitely the general consensus is, come on, Intel, you've had market domination for the past 10 years.
Right.
You should just be releasing the best you can for the best price you can and not skimping on anything for that price point. So, like, for instance, the KB, like the i7 7700K. Why are people having to delid to get decent thermals when you as a company have the resources to put good thermal interface material on that die and sandwich it under the heat spreader? There's no reason for that. People should not be having to seek a third-party solution in order to make their chips run at a decent thermal capacity.
Okay.
There's just no reason. Like, I have a custom open loop water cooling loop, custom open loop water cooling kit on from EK Water Blocks on my Intel machine, and under synthetic load, which arguably still runs hotter than real load, whether it be editing video or gaming, it will make it run hotter. But there's no reason I should be hitting 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. I mean, that thing should be kept 60 to 65 tops. And some people with delidding are seeing a 20 to 25 degrees Celsius drop when at load, which is huge. I mean, we're talking 20 to 30%, depending on your chip. Silicone lottery, woohoo! That's crazy. There's no reason. My AMD here with a all-in-one, overclocked processing video or even synthetic benchmarks never sees above like 55 degrees ever.
Celsius?
Yeah, Celsius.
What's Fahrenheit?
No.
You're like, Celsius. I was like, I'm metric. I'm standard, man. What's this metric nonsense?
But anyway, so there's that.
Right.
So again, that's all there is to that. Then let's see, what else did we touch on hardware-wise? Because we kind of talked about Threadripper a little bit, which I'm super excited about.
He is.
Hopefully, I'm actually also too hoping to get my hands on some different video equipment to kind of give like some different viewpoints on that, as far as not only for YouTubers but for people trying to produce not only live streaming like we're doing now,
Right.
but also people trying to produce like quasi professional looking videos. So I'm working with Premiere Pro, but I'm also going to be downloading soon DaVinci Resolve 14. They're still in open beta, but I did get a chance to talk with some of the people at Blackmagic Designs.
Magic.
Yeah,
I love that name. Black Magic.
but I did get a chance to talk to some of their reps at Infocom in Orlando that I just got back from, and it looks really nice. It's still time lane based, but they actually just incorporated. What was it? They bought some kind of audio engine or software company and incorporate. Crap! Now it's gonna.
Now you gotta look it up.
Yeah, I know. Now it's gonna bug me. But anyways, they incorporated some audio software into the new version of DaVinci Resolve, and that's actually going to be really nice because then you can actually do. I think it's like up to 100 channels of audio.
I like their webpage. That's a nice audio board.
Sure, yeah. Fairlight, that's what it's called. They incorporated Fairlight into it. So it's a full-on, it gives you professional audio editing tools, waveform, mixing, automation. You can do live recording with it. It has its own accelerator, monitoring, 3D audio space, so you can actually program Dolby 5.1 and 7.1 directly in DaVinci Resolve, and I think that's really cool. Nice. I haven't gotten too terribly deep into Adobe. I kind of want to do a little bit more research and see if I can get some training in on that. But it's definitely some useful stuff to know. and I'm thinking about you guys too for those YouTubers that want to watch here. Anyways, yeah. So like I said, DaVinci Resolve 14 beta, and the best part about DaVinci Resolve is it's 50 free.
Right.
It's completely free. So that's a big plus over
like
$20 a month for life for Adobe Premiere.
Free's good. Well, you got to think the $20 when you pay, you're paying to the guy that sits there, write code and push firmware updates and whatnot.
Well, sure, but Blackmagic does the same thing, but that's because they're a hardware company.
Right.
Adobe's a software company. I get that. I'm not faulting Adobe for charging for the software.
But we all it's like, well, when you think about it.
Yeah, but I'm a
updates.
small YouTuber, so I don't I don't have the luxury.
I don't have money
of having tons of money to dump into video editing. It's just not something I have.
Well, not yet.
It's not a resource I have right now.
Right.
So it's important for me to be able to get the best value that I can.
Legally.
Out of everything, yeah, legally. Yeah, legal is good.
Everybody else will be like, "Come on, man!" There's a black market out there, the dark interweb.
So yeah, so there's that.
You gotta look at the camera more. Ah! It just clicked.
Yeah, that's on you.
Hit the button.
Boop.
Hey!
All right, thank you.
I got a button. Yay! I did something right.
He's our camera boy here. But yeah, so there's that.
Look at the camera more. You keep looking down.
Well, I'm trying to think.
Well, you think by looking down, like, hey man.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I do my best thinking.
Number 2 help me.
Right. So, anyways,
what did we touch on the last time?
What I don't know. There wasn't much. I just got Bending the Ink Machine, Chapter 2, so I'll be putting that up soon just because filler content, hooray! And, of course, I do love my PC gaming. What else was there?
I know we did the car thing. We don't necessarily need to do the car
Well, we
thing.
did some. We touched on the Challenger.
And the new diesels.
The Dodge Challenger Demon, the diesels, Chevy coming out with their new Duramax. What was it, 919 foot-pounds of torque?
Yeah, everybody's up in the 900s now. All three are within 50 foot-pounds of each other and about 100, maybe less horsepower. So it's like any diesel you pick, now it's just down to comfort. All three engines are workhorses.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all getting very, very comparable.
Right. And then I don't have... I'm sorry, I came unprepared. I don't really have much of auto news. So the driven part of us is like, we're kind of parked.
Yeah, for now. Well, I mean, we had so much last week that, and it kind of threw me for a loop.
Right.
With the fact that I got, for whatever reason, the entire stream didn't capture.
Right.
So that definitely threw me quite a bit.
I could always see I subscribe, or I don't subscribe. I could say I follow. What was it? Gearheads and shoot, I forget one of the other ones I follow on Facebook. That's always like dumping interesting little tidbits and whatnot. Ooh, the Kia Stinger.
Yeah,
that kind of looks pretty snazzy. What is that? That's new to me.
Kia Stinger GT.
What is that? A 4-door car?
Well, pretty much all Kias, with the exception of...
right, but is it a 4-door rear car like the Genesis at one point? Oh, wait, that's Hyundai. Never mind.
Yeah, you're thinking of
This
Hyundai.
is Kia. Kia's never had a rear drive.
No, and I wouldn't expect them to break too much tradition with this. I mean, except for their SUVs, but yeah.
Wow, that's
so
kind of...
Let's see if they just have some specs.
Very Jaguar-ish.
According to Motor Trend here, is a twin-turbo V6. It's expecting to start around $30,000.
But it's what?
But, well, I guess the 4-cylinder, the turbo 4-cylinder is going to be $30,000, while the V6 twin-turbo, they're hoping to come in just under 40. But with fully loaded all options,
right,
they're
coming
around
to a 50K. So it's supposed to compete with the SRTs and, would have been the SSs, but they're gone.
Not really. I think they're probably going more towards the mid-range sports cars, so more like your mid-range Mercedes and like the M4, that kind of stuff.
M4 and the C-Class AMG?
Yeah, but the nice thing that they're hoping to achieve with this as well is they're not just hoping for that grunt, that pure power. They're also going for the handling as well. So they're hoping to kind of outshine the competitors in the class, like your Dodge Challengers and Chargers, and
fuel economy, comfort,
exactly.
And the sportiness for that guy that's just like, hey, it's the weekend. I want to take a nice little drive.
So the V6, they're thinking of it's going to be 365 horsepower, 376 foot-pounds of torque.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Not bad at all. They're thinking 0 to 60 in 4.9, which is, and they're saying, at least Motor Trend is saying that they're going to have a really nice exhaust note to it, which pleases me.
That's almost in the realm of what is it, the Jaguar?
Yeah.
The Jaguar 4-doors with the supercharged V6. Still probably got a little bit more oomph to it with the whine, but that's a pretty snazzy looking car.
Yeah, let me get some pictures here, just to show you guys what we're looking at on this bad berry.
Wow, and that was just pulling.
Fantastic, I think.
Okay, yeah, car segment.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be it.
Well, you typed in like the first thing that came up, any auto news.
Yeah, let's see if they got anything else for us. The new Nissan Titan's coming out. That's whatever.
Mazda. I don't know.
There's not. I haven't seen a lot of stuff that I'm super duper excited about coming up car wise. But well, actually, no. I take that back.
What?
Grand Tour is coming back in October.
Yeah.
So that's always good. And if you haven't checked out Grand Tour, please do.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's if you miss Top Gear, the old Top Gear, go check out Grand Tour.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It's those three. They just got to do things a little bit different. Poor the American.
Yeah, right. They could get rid of him, and I don't think my feelings would be too terribly hurt. We did touch on the Civic Type R last week.
Oh yeah, I might have poo-pooed it just a little.
The 300 plus horsepower turbocharged Civic Type R.
Honestly, I think it's a little late, like 6 years late. Hell,
but for that
10 years late.
But for that small of a car, with 305 brake horsepower, well, just 305, crank horsepower, right. That's going to be pretty substantial.
But you got the ST that's making 350.
Well, that's all fine and good. And
it's front wheel drive.
The ST, I thought that was all-wheel drive.
No, the RS is.
Oh, the RS. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking of.
The ST is the first turbo.
Well, what's the price point on the ST?
Okay, about 36, almost 40.
Okay, this one is going. This one's still going to be 34 grand, 35 grand.
That ain't a first time or low budget.
But Civic Type R's and Civic SIs do have a pedigree. I know the Focus does as well.
I know,
but they do have that pedigree of it's being a great handling car, decent power delivery,
right.
And that high revving engine is just.
It's great. I think it's 10 years too late because everybody was wanting. There was 1 year you got the Integra Type R here.
Yeah, that's true.
I still think it's very late. And when they went to that bubble SI looking minivan. They just kept missing the point, and I think that it's a little late to the game, and
you may be right.
Everybody else has moved on to what's the craze right now? Everybody wants a BMW with a V8 in it or a V8 swap. The Civic scene's kind of gone.
I mean,
safe for
sort of.
Hey, look, we can stance it.
I mean, your older Civics still have a pretty right. Loyal following, but there's not a lot of new development in it.
Right. I still keep seeing the trend. Everybody now wants a two-door 3 Series, gut it, put a loud pipe on it, and hey, they've become the new Civics.
Well, but also too, how modifiable is the new Civic Type R going to be? Because that used to be one of the hallmarks of the Honda Civic. You could get it for on the cheap, and then you could just mod the crap out of it.
The new ones,
and it was great. The new ones probably not so much.
You gotta have some money. It's just like any car. Like take the new Mustang for instance. Plethora of aftermarket parts, but comes at a price.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Especially for a GT. Like everybody wants a GT.
Thanks to all the emissions regulations, everything's gone towards electronics now, and it just it's a bear to work with.
Right. Or you could just go old school and live in a emissionsless county.
Yeah. There's one thing as far as tech news. EK's new liquid cooling systems.
Oh, here we go. Back to computers.
Yeah. EK.
Changing gears here.
Yeah. They've got a new box of liquid cooling stuff, and forgive me for forgetting the acronym because I'm just not that great with that kind of stuff.
Right.
What's it called? It's not the all-in-one. Crap, I've been seeing videos everywhere.
So what's the price point on this thing?
Now this one is starting at $150, and it's technically a custom kit. But it's the thing that a lot of people were having an issue with is it's all aluminum. Traditionally, aluminum has not been that really sought after, but because mixing metals, your copper and aluminum, stuff like that, it's never really a good idea, especially when you start adding some of the chemicals and stuff like that in the coolants. But this is an all aluminum system, and I've seen a lot of reviews out there that have pointed towards the fact that it works fine. There's nothing wrong with it because it's all aluminum and it's very well built. And for the price, $150 is fantastic, especially for those looking to get into water cooling. This is going to be an expandable, option that they can really get into for a really good price. Now, I do have the EK Waterblocks Performance 280 kit on my other machine, and it works fantastically well, but it's more of a traditional open loop system. Whereas this one...
Okay, now, real quick,
because
you're speaking Chinese. Open loop versus...
So, open loop and closed loop. Closed loop is going to be like your all-in-ones, where it's never meant to be open, never meant to be refilled, nothing's changed out.
Okay.
It's just a self-contained system,
like
and the only thing you might ever have to change out is maybe like a fan. But that's not part of the actual water part. That's that's the electrics. Whereas open loop, you can take the tubing off, you can expand it, you can make it shorter, long, whatever you need. It's more customizable.
Much better for the in-depth.
Yeah, so for stuff like me, where I do plan on liquid cooling my 1080 one day, that's the kind I want, which is why I got it. But they got the A120, which is the small 120 rad radiator. That's the 150. They have the A240, which again is just going to be a 240 millimeter radiator, but still the same.
Mm-hmm.
But then the A240G will include not only the CPU cooler but the GPU cooler as well, and that's at $240. And for what that's offering is fantastic. The most recent review I saw of that system from Jay's 2 Cents was, everything is so light and it almost doesn't feel real, but it's just aluminum, so it's lightweight. Okay. And the numbers he got with his benchmarking were fantastic. So I definitely encourage you guys to check that out, and I'll drop that link in the description below.
Oh, okay. I was like, do we have an as mentioned or?
No. Yeah, I'll put that down there.
Ooh, do we got people on here? How many people are watching this right now?
What? Lost sound? No. When did we lose sound? That's not good.
Acronym, you dork. What? Okay. Well, it shows sound here, doesn't it? Uh-oh. Technical difficulties, we're sorry.
Boop.
Boop. Hey. We got sound? People out there, do we have sound? Oh, it's just my wife.
Well.
Which I love, by the way.
Actually, I should be able to hear it.
Hello?
So...
Royal feedback.
Yeah, sure enough. There it is. Boom.
We keep having issues. I wonder if we should just start... Maybe we should just record. You edit and then put it up.
Well, that's what I'm doing, so I'm recording.
I thought this was live stream.
Well, it is, but I'm also recording.
So in case the live stream doesn't work, we have a backup. Yes.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
So, yeah, hopefully
so
we get that back.
Before I looked down and went,
oh. Oh, well, that was probably during the display capture because I forgot to add the audio back in. Oh my god.
She's like, when you showed the car, it just went, oh look, a car. No sound. We're so sorry. We're new at this. Especially him.
Yeah, that's my bad.
A lot of me, yeah. We're very new. We just got noobed.
Yeah, I
We were
noobed on that
noob.
one. That was my bad. I am just the worst.
Aw, don't beat yourself
Oh,
up.
no, I am the worst.
Uh,
But it's okay.
No, you're not the worst.
I don't know. I am kind of a little bit.
Well, so you
So,
forgot
anyways,
some. Yeah.
yeah.
Price
so-
wise, maybe that's something at the end of the build on this, or the upgrade of my little tower.
maybe it's, well, we'll
I
see.
could look into some
We'll see what
liquid
happens.
cooling,
But
get
yeah,
some
so
green
there's
ooze in there.
some pictures.
and that is pretty fancy. What do
Definitely go check it out. And EK Waterblocks has a reputation, and they have for some time now, of just being outstanding. Woo!
I remember a couple of years back, like liquid cooling. The thought of putting liquid in a computer, electronics, water, liquid, and electronics.
I know, it sounds
just
like a
don't
terrible
mix,
idea, but
right?
Done right, it works out
It's
really well.
like,
So there's the pricing
wow.
there
Yeah.
that we were just talking about.
That's actually pretty reasonable. Like I might. I'm really considering looking into doing that with mine, 'cause green coolant in there would look pretty cool.
Well, I mean, you've seen the red in that one. It looks pretty darn nice.
I want to do green.
But anyways,
I want to do green just
so
the Matrix.
so what
and
what minivans
turtles.
are coming out is a question we have, and you can
What?
guess. Yeah.
Oh, why she asked that?
Well, that's called
Do
a
they still make
that's called a
those
Jeep
things?
Grand Cherokee SRT8, and those are
I don't know.
yeah
That'll haul the kids.
that's like a minivan kind of
Oh,
ish.
yeah. And there's room for a dog and a car seat.
Also, be sure to swing over by Fractal Designs website. They have a newly released in the U.S. All-in-one cooler as well that I've heard very, very good things about.
She did ask, do we need to answer that question? Like, real quick, I don't even know.
Well,
Pull up.
actually, you know
what
what?
still
Yeah.
minivan? What
So let's
minivans
see.
still exist? Because I know Ford, Chevy dropped out of it years ago. All
Well,
that's left is
I mean, so-
the foreign cars.
I mean, so many more people are starting to go more towards the
SUVs.
SUV or like your crossover type of vehicles.
Right,
So-
like the Pacifica.
Right, like the
Like
Pacifica,
that
exactly.
was an SUV. It didn't know what it was. It's like the higher version of the Caravan.
So, wow,
Oh yeah,
those
Nissan's
are
got
definitely not
these
minivans.
Weird van looking things.
So, of course, there's all the variants of the Ford Transit, but that's not really a minivan, not really a people carrier. But that's
Oh, you
that,
can.
that was
you,
actually
can put, you can put seats
oh
in them.
you can, but that was a huge thing in the U.S. because they had I think it was what like 28
Oh,
different
yeah,
variants in the UK for a long time.
Old convert.
Yeah.
If you go back in the '90s, they had the big old conversion vans, which basically sat on a truck chassis.
So to answer the question there, as much as I don't normally like to talk about minivans, Dodge Grand Caravan, a little bit of a redesign. Nissan Quest, which is kind of their only minivan, but it's been around for some time.
And you got,
The Kia Sedona actually is getting very, very good reviews.
that thing looks like a Chrysler.
Yeah, it does look a lot like a Chrysler. And then, of course, the Chrysler Pacifica, which, as we stated, is almost like a mix between a car and a minivan.
Right.
Kind of like the...
Holy smokes,
the-
that thing got 5 stars.
yeah, it's got a 5-star pick on car and driver.
since it's got the Chrysler emblem on it,
rating.
you know it's got the price tag.
Well, no, it's only starting at 30,000.
Yeah,
So
starting,
not
so
bad.
that's like bare bones. You know me.
But I mean, it's a Chrysler, so bare bones for Chrysler is going to be different than bare bones for Dodge. It's still going to have a little bit more bells and whistles being a Chrysler.
Yeah, but I'm
So-
going to want the big. I'm going to want the whole shebang. I want the big engine. It probably only comes with one engine. If they put a
Possibly.
4-cylinder in that thing, it's going to hurt.
Well, unless it's turbocharged. Bring back the old Dodge Caravan days. The wood panel with the turbocharged 2.4.
The 80s. You know where you
Yeah.
got most of those? Mexico.
They were here a little.
Yeah, a little bit, but most of them were down in Mexico. I know the one you're talking about with the 2-liter turbo
Yeah.
that you could get in the old.
Oh, it was the 2-liter, yeah. Well,
you
wasn't
get
it a
the old
variant of the
Omni.
Ford G63?
Kind of.
Yeah.
It was an old. If you're talking DSM, then it was Chrysler block Mitsu head
Yeah.
with
Well, and Mitsubishi
their,
turbo, probably.
with their controller.
Yeah.
Because I remember having to go when I worked for Chrysler. We had one of those come in. and You're like, hey, you need this special converter with the DRB2
Yeah.
to read it, and
Uh,
it took a little bit longer. Look at the tangents we go on. So we digress just
And
a
then,
little bit.
of course, there's always like the Honda Odyssey, Toyota Sienna, but there's really nothing too terribly new
More or less.
there.
More or less, hey, SUVs, let's just get a Suburban and call it a day.
Mercedes does have like a newer type of crossover type vehicle. The I think it's the GLA.
Or GLC.
Well, we'll just call it the G series, as it were. But I think the GLA is kind of like their crossover version of the CLA.
Okay.
So that's
Hey,
and that's starting at 33,000, which is competitively priced considering
Right.
it's a Mercedes Benz.
Their highest
But Mercedes is
G-class SUV. Whoa! What was that price tag on that G-Wagon?
that's the G.
That's not even the AMG.
That's like the G63.
Right,
so
but that's not even the AMG.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
But they've been doing a lot of work to make themselves more available to like your entry level buyers. So your two income households, they're like, oh, well, I've always wanted a Mercedes, but I'm not willing to spend $50,000 on one. Now they've got like your CLA Coupe and your CLA.
Yeah, but see, those are all front. I want rear drive when I want Mercedes. Those are front wheel. Just weird.
Anyways, but it starts at like $32,000, $33,000.
Okay, it's reasonable.
And that's I don't know what dealer and so all that kind of good stuff. I don't know.
Right. But of course, us gearheads were like, "Where's the AMG? Just take us to the AMGs."
But
oh, look, they still make a wagon.
Of course they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it start at?
$62,000.
Huh? For a
wagon?
wagon?
Well, that's an E class too. That's not.
That's the only wagon they got there. Why the heck would you want?
Well, you got convertibles and roadsters. Well, and then they got hybrids too. Their B class starts at $39,900, which is not terrible. And then they have a hybrid C class as well.
Okay.
But the GLE, no, that's a hybrid too. That's whatever. But anyways,
wow.
So not much them. And
We
then
digress.
so it looks like because I think didn't Mercedes have like a minivan style one for a while?
No.
I was pretty sure they did.
Nah, I don't think so. Not since, well, when it was Daimler-Benz at one point.
Yeah, whatever.
They're
Anyways,
just like, hey, we have minivans, but our other side owns them.
So it looks like no plans from like your luxury manufacturers really. Well, they do have a 2 Series Grand Tourer, which kind of looks like a minivan, but it's more just like your crossover. So that's there.
That kind of looks ugly to me.
I'm not.
That looks like
but at least it's just
Mazda.
a concept,
It looks like a Mazda.
And it's front wheel drive, which is really breaking away from BMW tradition. But with that type of vehicle, it's.
Well, they own Mini as its own thing, so.
Actually, here we go. Actually, no. They did announce the 2 Series Grand Tourer they're considering a minivan, even though it's not a sliding door. It's going to be more comparable to like the VW Touran.
Yeah, you know what that looks like? A Volkswagen.
Kinda.
Even though it's got the kidney grills, I was like, it looks like a Volkswagen.
There's a picture of it there.
Everybody keeps like copying off each other. Yeah, look at that. Looks almost like a stretched Golf. It does.
So there's that.
It's like y'all keep copying off each other. They're as bad as China.
So there's that, and then actually kind of marrying cars, and
marrying cars. What do you mean? What are you on about?
The NVIDIA actually has been manufacturing technology for automotive manufacturers.
Really?
Yeah. So this is kind of marrying cars and tech together. They have an automotive division with deep learning. They have an AI system that's scalable for self-driving vehicles. They have a software development kit that is available to car manufacturers.
Huh.
They have HD mapping for self-driving cars, so that and if I don't have confirmation of this, but I would not be surprised if they used that to map the track that they demoed for the NVIDIA QMax design laptop at Computex this year.
Okay.
Because they did it a millimeter at a time. They mapped the track a millimeter at a time, and they got a accurate inch for inch replica of the track for
as long as somebody was in the car
new
driving
upcoming game. Yeah.
See, when you keep saying
I
self-driving,
think it's Project
that
Cars too.
scares the crap
But it's
out of
got
me.
again deep learning. They
Yeah.
already have a lot of partners: Toyota, Audi, Tesla. You know what? I'm just
of
going to
course,
show.
Tesla.
I think I'm showing that
Hey,
there.
remember, make sure we have the audio going when you guys
It's
show
going
pictures.
this time. See, look at that
Okay.
audio input capture. Check that out.
Hey, all right.
So yeah, Toyota, Audi, Tesla, Mercedes, Volvo.
Well, yeah, because Mercedes has part of
Honda,
that self-drive,
BMW.
and same with Tesla, like let go, and it's
So they've got a lot of
keeps
partners
space.
still as well, which is actually pretty cool in my mind.
Yeah, but see, they're all European, and none of the American ones, and they're like, nope. no, we already have bad drivers as it is.
Yeah, right.
Like, we need the AIs to, yeah.
Yeah.
The computer did it. How's that gonna go in court? Your Honor, my car lost its mind. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, clearly they're all going to have a manual override, and it's,
This is just one step.
Well, you're going to have to. You're going to have a manual override because no software solution is perfect. It's just, it's not possible.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes things crash. Maybe your battery dies, and then you lose the automated systems that control your steering and brake.
Right.
There's going to have to be a manual mode.
Okay.
You're going to have to.
You know what this just screams?
What?
One step closer to Skynet. Yeah. One step.
Hey, listen.
Mark my word. Skynet, it's coming.
Actually, we are in the 20th year that Skynet was supposed to happen. That was supposed to happen in '97, and so far it hasn't. So I'm holding out hope.
Right, but
although
we weren't close to AI stuff yet.
The Ryzen chips, they do say have a neural net architecture, which, hey,
see,
yeah, the neural net processor,
yeah. See,
you gotta be
now
careful.
Schwarzenegger's gonna be like, hey, I still got a job. It'd still be the T1000. There's the 2000. Crap.
But yeah,
It's been a minute.
so actually, grab the cooler.
Grab a cooler.
Yeah, grab the cooler out of there. I think we're gonna wrap this up because I think we've BS'd long enough. I don't want to drag this out to an hour. Oh my gosh. This is the cooler here, and just let me make sure that
I believe
actually
I'm running
showing
one
this.
too in my little tower.
Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. This will be the one that I'm giving away. I did get this for a little bit of testing, but so it's got like 2 hours worth of time on it, 2-3 hours.
Still very shiny.
Still very, very new. Again, with an AM4 bracket, it's going to come pretty much boxed up as it came new. And like I said, 100 subscribers, and I will start that contest to get this given away. Should be a fun little time. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe.
Yes. Yeah, watch us. You get one. We got 2 people on there now.
Yeah, there's 2 people.
Yay!
It's probably my wife too.
Oh, we got fans. They're like, oh, come on, we'll pat them on the back. Going, hey,
Father's Day on YouTube.
Yay!
But anyway, so thank you everybody for watching. Tune